Yes, it's live right now.
Oh, it's live?
Yeah, right now.
Oh.
Intro that bitch. I mean, that
Oh.
thing. I think roll the intro, kid. Damn.
No, it's you. It's you. I don't want to do it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to NBANBT. I'm Jordan. This is Elliot. Let's get
Hi.
into the podcast. Okay, so here we are sitting here on Monday the 15th. Tomorrow is the start of the NBA season. We gave our preseason predictions. Yeah, so let's start this off. Elliot, roll out the first topic, please.
All right. First, I'm going to go over for the games for tomorrow, and I feel like we should predict them. You know what I mean? And there's only 2 games tomorrow.
Celtics are coming out on top of the Sixers.
So you got the Sixers and Celtics at 8, and then you got the
Celtics.
Thunder and Warriors at 10:30.
Warriors.
You sound like it's going to be a blowout. You think it's going to be close at all, any of those games? Or
76ers and
I mean,
Celtics.
I don't know if Westbrook's playing or not. Probably not, right?
No, it's not. Celtics.
Yeah, he's out.
Celtics and Sixers are gonna be a really close game.
Is Kyrie playing?
Yeah.
And Gordon Hayward? Okay, that's interesting.
So I think
My
the Celtics
thing is,
are gonna win.
Brad Stevens is such a good coach that I wonder what he's going to do with the minutes, because there's only 42 minutes in a game, and it seems like everyone on that team plays small forward. You got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, and then you got Al Horford, and then the rookie Robert Williams that you need him to play against a guy like Embiid so he can get used to it. And then you got a guy like Terry Rozier, who last year was like, hey, I carried you guys when Kyrie was out. And I don't really know who's at their shooting guard. And they got Marcus Morris at power, but Al Horford can always play power forward. So Brad Stevens, he was like, I think last year Kyrie Irving, as like a star or an all-star, had like the lowest minutes average per game, which was like 20. That's why his knee lasted so long, because it wasn't like getting beat up every day. So I feel like Brad Stevens, if he works out the benches and everything, like the minutes, the Celtics could win. But if something like fucks up, then I think the Sixers can pull it out. Especially if Simmons runs true point and doesn't have to guard Kyrie.
I don't think he's going to.
If Markelle starts, he's going to have a tough time because he hasn't really played any defense. Like, his defense is going to be tough, I think, against Kyrie.
My question, does Markelle count as a rookie this year?
No, he doesn't. He played last year. He played like 3 games last year. He had a triple-double in his first game.
Okay, Ben Simmons played too. What are you talking about?
No, Ben Simmons didn't play 2 years ago. He broke his leg before the season started.
Yeah, he did in preseason. What a bitch, dude.
Yep, preseason doesn't count.
I have to say, Ben Simmons is my rookie of the year this year.
All right. All right, well, since we got on top of that, my rookie of the year, I don't know. I think my dark horse candidate would be Kevin Knox from the Knicks, because he's actually proven to be like an actual, not to be biased or anything.
This guy likes the Knicks.
Not to be biased.
This guy likes the Knicks. You just said Kevin Knox is going to be rookie of the year?
No, dark
Kevin
horse,
Knox?
damn it. I think it's going to be Luka, though,
Luka,
Like-
yeah, okay, that's better.
because he's got the minutes, and Wesley Matthews isn't going to outplay him for the starting position.
Oh, no.
And Dennis Smith Jr. doesn't mind, like, kind of being like a 2-guard, like a slasher type, like running plays for him to cut to the hoop and dodges. I can definitely see it now, him throwing alley-oops.
They were looking real
But-
good in the preseason. I just want to say that.
Yeah,
Dirk has
But,
Dirk has a little talent behind him, even though he's going to be retired before
Yeah.
they're like insane. But
and what that is, they're definitely going to start him out of respect, but he's going to play like 10 minutes a game.
yeah, he'll
'Cause
start
he's-
for the first 4 minutes of the game, then he'll get subbed out
And then
and
get
subbed
subbed
back
out,
in the
yeah.
last 4 minutes of the game.
All right.
If
And then,
winning.
Then we got the Warriors and Thunder. I think the Warriors are going to win because I think we went over it last time that Paul George hasn't really carried a team since Indiana, and then kind of like in the playoffs, but Westbrook was still there. So I feel like it's going to take a hole in that offensive emphasis that Westbrook isn't there, because like Westbrook was like, you pass him the ball and he's dunking it, he's going to the hoop almost every time, and now you got Paul George bringing up the ball, like Raymond Felton. Like he isn't a good point guard anymore. So they're just gonna have a tough time, especially guarding Curry, unless they stick Roberson on him. But then Klay Thompson doesn't have anyone guarding him. And then if Paul George goes to guard him, Kevin Durant has no one to be guarded by. So I know Steven Adams, without DeMarcus, Steven Adams
hurt.
is gonna have a good game. Who's Steven Adams? Oh, they're definitely not gonna win then if they don't have Steven Adams. No offense to like Paul George or anything, but I don't think that you can single-handedly carry them against
Defensively, especially.
4 All-Stars. Yeah, because he can guard Kevin Durant for say, but Klay Thompson and Curry are gonna go off, and then if he goes guard Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant's gonna go off. So it's a lose-lose situation for him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a tough season without
No matter
Westbrook.
what KD doesn't miss, no matter what Steph doesn't miss, no matter what, it's just not fair.
Klay.
Dude, it's just
Yeah.
not fair. It's just.
All right, so we agree.
It's just
I
not
think
fair. It's just not fair. It's not.
Oh man. All right. So those are the only 2 games, and now
Like
we
when
can
I
get
sit
into.
here and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna tell you this.
Oh,
It's
hey,
not
chill out.
fair.
I saw
it's
that.
not
Yeah,
fair.
chill out.
It is not fair. The Warriors are not fair. Why is this allowed? I'm gonna.
I mean,
We just got
you can
demonetized for the second
Yeah.
time.
you can blame that on Oscar Robertson, who actually started the free agency market when he was playing.
What a dweeb, dude. Way to ruin the game, guy.
I think it's funny that even like Shaq came out and said I think people should stay with their team that they're drafted by, and all that. But that's for another video. That's
I don't
for later
think
to
they
talk
should stay
about.
in the same game.
I don't either, because I think
That's
they should
boring.
express it free. But yeah, anyways, let's go to Coach of the Year. I think that's an interesting one.
All right, so let me give my opinion here first. Let me just really get situated when I see this.
He's what they say, Mike.
Mike D'Antoni.
Period.
End of statement. On to the next one. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Who's your dark horse candidate? If you would have the one that would shock you the most, you think not like the worst coach all of a sudden, but who do you think has the smallest chance of winning it?
Dave
But has it? Dave Isdale. That was funny. I think if the Knicks make
Who
a
is he the
playoffs,
coach of?
Knicks. I think if we make an 8th seeded or 7th seed appearance, you can definitely win Coach of the Year. What?
He's just a dark horse because the Knicks are so bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Kevin Knox is definitely good. And that random dude, who's the random dude that you guys got?
ISO Smith.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
Bro, tell me you saw Ish Smith putting Colin Sexton
Ish
in a
Smith?
blender.
Oh
And
my
making a
god, dude! I
three.
haven't heard that guy's name in 3 years.
Yeah, you
since
haven't heard his
2K.
name since I was obsessing over him in my
Yeah, I
team.
know. Dude, that was insane. Those are the days.
Did you see the video of him though?
I didn't.
Dude, you gotta watch it. Ish Smith crossed.
The only game I watched was the Nets versus Knicks preseason. I haven't watched that much Knicks preseason.
Dude, Ish Smith crossed over Colin Sexton. He dropped him, and then he made a three. And then he made a three, and then the whole entire bench crowded the what's it called, the court. And then the announcer was like, and everybody on the Pistons bench stands up as if they just won Game 7 of the Eastern Conference.
Wait, he's back on the Pistons? That's insane.
Or whatever team he's on. He said, and he said whatever team he's on is now standing up and celebrating as if they just won Game 7 of the NBA championship. Just because he made.
Yeah, you're right. He's on the Pistons. All right. So my Coach of the Year candidate is going to be Brad Stevens, if he gets those minutes evaluated properly, which he will, because he's a really smart guy. And yeah, that's enough said. He's probably one of the smartest guys. He's next on the torch when Greg Popovich retires, I believe.
Ooh.
But Brad Stevens.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. But the dark horse, I think it's going to be Greg Pop. And here's my reasoning. Because Dante, I don't even know how to say his name, but Murray just tore his ACL. He's out for the season. They traded away Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. So I think if they are the fourth seed in the West, I think he should get it because the fact is that everyone's already saying the Lakers are better than them, the Thunder are going to be better than them, the Rockets, which they will be better than them, the Warriors, which they will be better than them. So that puts the San Antonio down to fifth, and I've heard a lot of reports saying that they might like end their playoff winning streak. So I think if Pop can come in fourth, he could win Coach of the Year
Yeah.
with the roster he has.
I'm gonna pull up ESPN's day before opening day rankings, and I just want you to listen to how bad these are.
Oh, they projected like their wins and everything, and they have the Rockets like fifth.
Oh,
I
no,
saw
no, no,
this
they
morning.
didn't project the wins. They just gave their postseason,
Preseason.
yeah, preseason rankings, like power rankings,
Oh, they did?
going into day one.
I didn't think about that.
I don't know, dude. I think the score tweeted it out.
Here, I got it. September 24th, 2018. Right?
No, it'd probably be today.
No, that's the newest one they have. Oh, training camp. Yeah. Yeah, the earliest one they have is training camp.
And then how are all of a sudden the Raptors
Yeah.
34% chance to make the finals? Like, what? How? And the
I-
Rockets are 15. What
Here,
the
let's
hell?
see. If I can look that up. Yeah, here we go. I got it. They have the Warriors at 50,
One.
58 wins, or they have them at number one. They have the Celtics at number two. The Raptors with three. The Rockets at four, and the Jazz at five.
And the Lakers are 8.
Yeah, which can make sense because they have the biggest chance of being the most disappointing team.
Wait,
They have
what?
the highest chance. What?
Jamal is on the
Yeah,
Suns?
he signed this morning. A 1 year, $6 million, I think it was.
What?
Yeah, I read that and I was like, that's weird. The Suns
like-
are turning into the new Timberwolves. They're just signing everyone.
I like Jamal though.
I like that move. I think it's was it older vet. I'm surprised they didn't get Vince, to be honest.
Dude, they
but
got the whole entire Rockets team except for James Harden.
Hmm.
All they need is James Harden and the what's his name, Dwight Howard. They'll be all set.
All right. So who do you think's winning Sixth Man of the Year? Now this is not really like talked about preseason because you don't know who's going to start
No.
yet. But if you would go off of last year's rosters and who started, you think Melo? You think Melo's coming off the bench? They already said it, or
Preseason, our last preseason game, he definitely did. I think he definitely came off the bench. He
Okay.
put up 18 points, I think. I don't quote me on that because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he did come off the bench because someone tweeted out. I think it was one of the
Woj?
no, it wasn't him. It was one of the
Oh.
analysis, and it said like now that Melo's accepting like a bench
bench
role,
roll?
like all the Knicks fans and Thunder fans are like super heated about it because they said that he would never do that for them. So
Yeah, I mean, with his Knicks days, he was still a pretty good player.
that was
Like even like the
prime.
last season we had with Derrick Rose and Kristaps, like Kristaps' rookie year and Derrick Rose's year with us, he was still like pretty good. But we just didn't have good chemistry, and we couldn't run the triangle offense because we didn't have Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant.
Triangle offense
So-
doesn't work in the NBA anymore.
It works in like rec leagues because I've done it before. Like Ross and I've done it before for the FNL. Like when teams go like 2-3 zone, but no one plays
Yeah,
zone in the
it's different,
NBA.
though. The NBA is all such different. So different.
Yeah, but they don't play zone.
No.
Like you play triangle when you're zone because you
You
have
play-
one guy in the middle
all you
and
do is
then one
play
guy in each
man.
block. And
All they do
you
is
just
play
also
man.
need like the best players in the league too, like Michael, Kobe, Shaq,
Yeah.
Scotty.
You can't do that with D Rose as a point guard. Not anymore, at least.
Yeah. Not anymore. Maybe in 2011, but
Dude, I don't know. I feel like
You
this
do.
season's gonna be good for him.
so I might have to agree with you because knowing that who is coming off the bench and who isn't, I think Melo definitely is the front runner if he comes off the bench.
Yeah, if he's
But-
not, then
Probably no. Eric Gordon could no. It'd probably be Eric Gordon to be honest,
yeah.
or maybe like whoever comes off that Suns bench, because that Suns bench, if they make the playoffs, they're
Yeah.
the most surprising team in in the West.
If they make the playoffs, that'd be unreal.
That'd be like a 2K My League
Yeah,
thing.
I'd be happy for them, but that's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Devin Booker's back to full health already. Like that's wild.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it
Jeez.
may not be 100%, but he got the cast off.
That's
But
crazy.
what's next? We got Coach of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Most Improved.
Most improved.
It's not hard. I mean, I don't think that's hard for me.
Who are you
You,
gonna
you,
say?
you can pick anyone on the Cavs, to be honest.
Anyone
Cedric
on the Cavs?
Osman. Cedric Osman. Yeah, Osman.
Osman. Oh my God! What a.
Think about it. Because he played like 18 games last season and averaged 3 points. If he plays all 82 and averages 18, and that Cavs team sneaks into the playoffs, he's going to be looked at as most improved because he went from 3
Do you
points.
think they're gonna sneak into the playoffs?
I don't think so, but they definitely have a higher chance than because that whole division. Let's talk about that division for a moment. There, the Pacers are going to win it, and then if Detroit figures out
Wait.
what do you mean?
Oh yeah. Okay, they'll win the division. Okay.
Yeah, not the East. No, the Pacers are definitely winning that division because Tyreek Evans and Oladipo are going to be a nasty backcourt in the East, and Miles Turner just accepted like a $72 million like extension, so he's going to play like out of his mind, especially on defense. And
That's
then
what you
the
would hope.
Pistons, if they don't figure out their problems, that means the Cavs are second. Or no, the Bucks are going to be second. Oh crap. The Bucks are second, I think.
Jalil Okafor land.
Okafor, the Nets. Or no, the Pelicans, and then he fractured his leg. Yeah, he's on the Pelicans. He
Dude, he's
fractured
a
his leg
sad
for the first
case.
preseason though, so he's out for the season. I think.
Sad
I think he
case.
broke something. Yeah, but I think the Bucks are coming in second because they still have to figure out with their new coach.
Second
this is
to
what
who?
the Pistons do. Second to the Pacers, like in that division, because
Okay.
you got the Bucks, the Pacers, the Bulls, the Cavs, the Pistons. And if the Cavs can get third or second in that division, they are definitely making the playoffs. Because they got the Bucks, the Pistons, and the Pacers, who are apparently playoff locked.
I think
So-
the East this year is gonna be so much more interesting to watch than the West when come playoff time because it's just so much more closely contested.
Well, last year the Portland was up by like 2 games by everyone else. The only reason why they were third is because they went on that massive winning streak. Like the Timberwolves were like, I believe, around 6 games behind Portland, and they were the 8th seed to the 3rd seed.
Yeah, but I'm saying
But
now that every single team is like even more evenly matched on the East, it's so much like more
Yeah.
fun and like entertaining to watch because like it's either a team has one or two like not superstars, but one or two stars, and then
All Stars,
Yeah.
East All Stars,
yeah, or they have one superstar,
which is
or
like
Giannis, or they have a bunch of people that are like no names,
a bunch of
but-
role players.
Yeah, they're just role players, but they're gonna establish themselves. So like I feel like that's so much more interesting to watch, like people coming up instead of seeing like a team full of superstars like the Warriors or even the Lakers. I don't feel like that's
I feel like the difference is between the West and the East this year is not because of talent. Well, not like when you watch it though, because the West is like you pretty much have like 10 teams that are gonna be fighting for that 8th spot, and then in the East it's really like you have to watch every night to like see who's actually good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like you have that, like, say for example, we'll go back to the Central Division. You have the Pacers, the Pistons, the Bucks, the Bulls, the Cavs. All of them can technically be a playoff team in the East if they
Bulls,
figure out their
though?
problems. They've signed Jabari Parker.
okay, if they figure out their problems. Yeah,
Yeah, like they have their second year in their coach. Laurie
Lauri
Markkanen
Markkanen's
is actually
hurt.
going to be healthy.
he's hurt.
Yeah, but he's I don't know. Yeah, see, like if he comes back healthy and plays like he did last year,
What's wrong with him? I wonder.
I think it's an elbow,
Oh,
and it might be his shooting one. So, because I remember he started to wear the padded sleeve on the elbow just in case
Yeah.
someone hit it. Anyways,
really
so
good, though.
and the tape are on his knee. I think he has. But yeah, like the Knicks were safe. Kristaps Porzingis comes back around All-Star break. They can turn it around because that division's also pretty weak. Because the Sixers and the Celtics are obviously going to be like 10 games ahead, but the Nets, us, and the Raptors, that division's pretty tough actually. I forgot. Those three teams are obviously gonna be like 10 games ahead of everyone else, but the Nets, like, they're gonna be fighting for it. The Knicks are gonna be fighting for it. That whole Central Division's gonna be fighting, and like none of it's guaranteed unless if you're the top three teams. Like maybe the Bucks are guaranteed because they made it last year, but like that's if they figure out because like new coach, new players,
Yeah.
it takes a while to figure it out. Like because like it's a different example from the Rockets because all of them are like
Yeah,
homeboys,
they all
so
meshed.
like they know what their play style is like versus a new coach. Because Dwayne Casey's never coached a guy like Andre Drummond or Blake Griffin,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be hard.
I feel like
So they're gonna have to mold. And then all right, let's see here. We'll go to Defensive Player of the Year.
Clint Capella.
This one's tough. You think Clint Capella? I think he was top three last year, right? Okay.
That's not even like a Rockets fan. Like, I'm not being a fanboy saying that. I think, like, genuinely, this
Oh,
is his
yeah.
year.
I think it's funny that Kevin Durant thinks he's gonna win it.
Stick
Like he's
to
gone out and
offense.
said that.
Dude averaged, like, 0.9 blocks a game. Like, what do
He's
you
not even the best defender on his team. He's Draymond Green, and then it's gonna be DeMarcus, and then it's gonna be Durant. Like, come on now. DeMarcus is just a big ass guy, so
Yeah, he's probably not even going to be good. I don't know. I feel like he's not going to be... He's going to
I feel
fit...
like he should.
He's going to fit really well with the Warriors. It's as hard as it is for me to say he is, because now
It's
that
just
he's
gonna be a pick and
hurt...
fade.
Now that he's hurt, all he's going to do
He gets
is...
to watch.
Yeah, all he's going to want to do is shoot threes. He's not going to want to be running around, especially not on a torn Achilles.
I think a guy like Porzingis and DeMarcus, who are coming off of really bad injuries, should wait till after All-Star break.
Oh,
Especially with both their team states. One is guaranteed playoffs, while the other one, if they're not making the playoffs, why
Guaranteed,
rush coming
yeah.
back? So, like, you're kind of in a predicament where if they're trying to make the playoffs, you go, okay, I'll put myself on minutes restriction, and then we'll see. Versus DeMarcus is like, yeah, I'll put myself on minutes restriction because we're in the playoffs no matter what. So, I think Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know, because you got Davis, who's just an all-around
Oh,
freak.
shit. He's MVP.
You think he's MVP?
No bullshit aside, he's MVP. Or all bullshit
I
aside,
think
he's MVP.
because DeMarcus left, he's gonna just average so much more
he's gonna
points.
he's
It's
gonna
be
be like,
stupid.
dude, against the Warriors, it's probably gonna be like the funniest game ever. He should come out in a zero with the jersey on, with number 0.
Oh, I have a fun thing about that jersey thing. Teams are starting to release when they're gonna wear certain jerseys.
Are they?
Yeah, like the Knicks did that. They released when they're gonna wear their icon, their
That's what I'm
statement,
doing with
their
the. That's what I'm doing with the refund.
Oh, you're gonna buy a.
I'm buying a statement jersey. Should I get Capella, Paul, or Harden, or Melo?
Harden.
No, I'm getting Melo.
Oh,
Fuck
that-
Melo. Stupid bitch.
But I think that Anthony Davis could win it because the fact is that Drew Holiday is going to carry it more offensively now because he's starting to play more shooting guard.
I really liked what I saw last year from Drew Holiday.
From the playoffs?
In the playoffs,
He was-
dude, he was so good. He was like really,
He's like,
really good.
Dude, he performed like he was an all-star back
If
in
he-
2013 with the Sixers.
Dude, if he comes out like that next year, he could get most improved easily, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think they would count it as most improved because he was doing it last season, but I definitely can see that. Like NBA being like, hey, last year in the season he was struggling,
Well,
and
they
now he's
could-
like averaging 23.
They could do that because they don't really count the playoffs towards the award race.
Oh yeah, that's right. They already have the
Yeah.
have the person who's gonna win it 2 weeks in.
Because the
Good
MVP
point.
was already, they already knew who the MVP was before the award show. Because LeBron and
Yeah.
what's his
AD didn't show
Yeah,
up.
they didn't even go. Harden was there, no one else went.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But with someone carrying the load on offense, is that AD can actually start trying on defense now. Hopefully, he doesn't try too hard to where he gets hurt, because that's what
Yeah.
happened with Kristaps. And like you can just see it, like these guys, like they go from 0 minutes in the summer to little minutes in preseason to all of a sudden they're playing like 40 minutes a game, and you try to jump every play, and your bones and your muscles can't take that as much. Like Davis is a freak of nature.
Yeah, he is.
He's the same height as Giannis, I think. He
He's-
might.
athletic.
Yeah.
He can do everything.
He's just a bigger. I think he weighs more than Giannis. I think he's just like a bulkier version of Giannis. And I think he can win Defensive Player of the Year. Him or Giannis, to be honest.
The
'cause-
Pelicans really they were really surprising last year in the playoffs. I really wanted them to do good.
I mean, they swept the they exactly like going back the West versus East in the playoffs. They were 2 games behind Portland, and they swept Portland. It was just because Portland caught fire at the right time of the season to catapult them up to third. Like
Yeah.
same thing with the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves were third seed. Butler got hurt, so therefore they started slipping down. And then
That whole Butler thing is just so annoying at this point. I'm so done seeing that.
you're sick of it.
I'm so sick of it. So sick of it.
Dude, Pat Riley and the Heat had a deal, and the
Bro.
Timberwolves were like, nah.
He keeps turning it down. Like, someone else needs
Yeah.
to take it. He's not going to play for you guys. Just get rid of him. No matter what.
I think he should, to prove that he still can play at a high level.
The practice,
'cause-
did you hear what he did?
I know, but that's different because the Timberwolves aren't just a good team without him in general.
They're not
Like
good.
that's a fact. Like last year we saw their record without him. They only won like 10 games without him out of like 23, 25 games. Like we know that they're not a good team. So him going with the third reserves and being guarded by Wiggins, who can't play defense, no offense.
Bro, Andrew Wiggins is probably one of the most sorry excuses for a max contract.
I feel like when the Cavs traded him, something just happened in his head and he was like, what, like
I don't know why he's so bad because he
he has the
told
tools.
I saw like a meme. Like, I don't want to bring up memes in a show
Yeah.
that we talk about facts, but there was a meme and it was like Andrew Wiggins, and then it said Timberwolves GMs, and it was like, do you think you'll be able to perform for a max contract? And he was like, yeah, give me a max contract, trust me. And then it's like he does nothing.
You can say the same thing with Towns because Towns is an offensive talent.
Exactly.
And you give him a
what
max contract, and he doesn't play that much defense. Like you've seen the picture with DeMarcus Cousins just bullying the fuck out of him, and DeMarcus was on defense. Like
exactly.
like Towns is a revolutionized center.
Cat is
but
good. He
we're
is
still
good.
we're still in the league. We're still in this time period where you have traditional centers like Andre Drummond, and versus like hybrids like DeMarcus
Bullies.
Cousins, and then Towns is in the middle. Like he can't play defense.
He can't
like
bully
like
people.
Drummond. He can't bully people, but he can shoot threes like DeMarcus.
And I'm gonna tell you, Clint Capella was bullying him last year in the playoffs. He was
Is he
bullying
traditional?
him. Listen, of course he's traditional. All he does is sit in the paint and block. He
Yeah.
gets putbacks and he
Alley-oops,
passes out to
yeah.
the three, and he gets alley oops. He's just the perfect center. He's what you
Traditional,
need
yeah.
on a 3-point shooting team. Clint Capella is a breakout player. This man came out of nowhere, and he scared Karl Anthony Towns to the point where Karl Anthony Towns was shooting only threes. Who does that? This guy went from shooting like 2 threes a game to shooting like 8 or 9. Like, what?
That's a lot, but yeah, I get it.
He
I
was
get your point.
He was so scared that he just didn't want to go in the paint because he
Yeah,
was
blocked,
literally
yeah.
getting bullied by Clint Capella, which shouldn't happen. Cat's
Like-
so much bigger than Clint. It's ridiculous.
In a league, well, I think
Weight-wise.
Clint has like 2 inches on him, right?
No, I'm saying weight-wise. There's no
Yeah,
reason
but
that
I think-
Clint should be able to body him like he was.
I just don't understand that he like Cat was trained by Kevin Garnett, and that is probably like one of the most intense people ever. And Kevin Garnett was never able to shoot like an actual 3-pointer, or like he was okay at mid-range or more toward the end of his career, but he was always like down your throat, smash mouth basketball. Like he had like an 8-foot, 12-foot mid-range jumper, but nothing like a 20-foot 3 like Towns does. Like how do you go from training with a tough guy versus and then like you not being able to play defense at a level of a max contract player like Butler? I guess it's different when you're a center, but at the end of the day, there's still more traditional centers in the league, more like JaVale, Capella, Dwight, Hassan. Who else? Who else is a traditional? Tyson Chandler. Dirk's not a center. Who's a traditional center?
Traditional.
Enes
centers.
Kanter, he can't shoot threes, but he's not a center. Robert Williams,
I'd say Joakim Noah, even though he got released.
yeah, Joakim Noah, and I don't know, he's a question mark. We haven't really seen him play, so we don't know if he's been developed. But yeah,
Well,
guys like
Joakim
that are
Noah
still
did not
in the
see
league,
play.
and they're still playing. So
Joakim
they're still like
Noah's
traditional
not gonna
centers
play.
in the league.
He's done.
And Timberwolves are reported to actually sign him. Like I'm being serious. That's not like a meme or anything. Like the Timberwolves have actually seen interest in him, but they don't want to sign him for like the millions of dollars he wants.
Yeah, Joakim
Like
Noah.
we're talking league minimum.
They posted like what is the best situation for Joakim Noah, and everyone was commenting like the big three, like just get him out of the league, just go to the big three, retire. But dude, I swear he's just a meme in every way.
Like DeAndre Ayton and Mo Bamba, they can't exactly shoot threes, and they're more traditional.
DeAndre
And
on the fantasy team, thank you.
and like you have guys like Towns who can't play defense, but like majority of the centers in the league are so traditional, so they're just gonna bully him.
You should be able to play defense as a center. That's probably one of the main reasons the center is.
You're the anchor of the defense. You
Yeah.
should be like what the point guard is on offense.
And you're seeing like these days centers are getting phased out. Like people that are centers are going to be like they're starting to be power forwards because and like running point.
Yeah, Chris House, Laurie Markkinen are 7-footers. Giannis is 7 foot. Anthony Davis is 7 foot.
And they're running the
even
point.
though Durant's 7 foot, LeBron's 6'8", and he could be technically an undersized center. Like, yeah, I get what you mean, but
he's running the
then
five this year.
if that's the case, then sign a center like Marcin Gortat who would fit, and a traditional center who can play defense, and then move Towns to the power forward, and then Gorgie Dane comes off the bench, and you have a stronger bench. Like that's the worst case scenario. All right, I gotta pee. Hold on.
All right. Wait. Now that we're taking a break really fast, I just want to give a quick, really quick shout out to my girlfriend Emily. 1 year is coming up very soon. I love you, babe. Let's keep going strong. Sponsored in part by Jordan.
All right, I'm back. So now we can do. We done 6-man. We done Depoy. We done Coach of the Year.
On the fantasy.
We did Rookie of the Year. Oh, let's do MVP now. Oh, you said AD, right?
I already said AD. Yes, ma'am.
I think it's Giannis. That's my opinion. I already tweeted it out and everything. Can't go back on that word.
Yeah.
All right, now we can go to fantasy.
All right.
Okay.
First things
You can
first.
start off.
Now that we're talking about it, Emily said that your trade was, and I quote, pathetic.
Okay.
Okay. So pull up your fantasy team ASAP.
Yep, I have mine.
Oh, I got no type of gains. I gotta start hitting the gym.
All right, so we're gonna go over fantasy teams and who should be a good pickup and who should be on the watch.
No.
Right?
We're gonna say, okay. We're gonna talk about our teams. We're gonna
okay.
talk about who we think's gonna be like surprising, like who gets the most points, like that wasn't ranked, like to get the most fantasy points, and then who we wanted but we didn't get.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, that's easy for you.
Yep. Literally just look up Emily's team and
That's just whole team is me.
Okay, so Jordan, you had first pick in our draft, so I guess you can just go first.
All right, so my team, I'm actually really happy with my team.
I'm I'm kind of wishy-washy with my team. Let me look at your team.
Yeah.
Your team probably pretty good, right?
Yeah, I got a lot of good players. Even my bench is good, but so we only did 4 people this time around because every time that we do 6 players, it's always like so difficult, and someone ends up leaving and blah blah
Or not
blah.
playing you.
Yeah, so we only did 4 people. It's me, Elliot, my girlfriend, and Emily and Ross. So I got first pick, and my first pick was obviously James Harden. He's definitely a producer. He has shown off that he's a producer, and everyone's gonna ask
He's the
me
MVP.
exactly.
End statement.
It's impossible for him to
MV
not get good points for fantasy.
top 5 in MVP for the past 3 years. That's all you
Exactly.
have to say about that pick.
And everyone's gonna be like, "Why didn't you get Giannis?" Blah blah blah. Why didn't you get Giannis? I don't want Giannis because I just don't want Giannis. If I'm gonna get a first pick, I'm gonna stick with my gut, and I'm gonna get my favorite player of all time, James Harden. So, who did you pick with your first pick?
Well, if you guys know, I'm a Giannis fan, so I wanted Giannis, but I had the 3rd pick, so there was definitely not gonna happen. And I ended up picking, I believe, Davis. Yeah, I picked Anthony Davis first because he should be this year's MVP, if not him or Giannis. So after last year with half of the year with DeMarcus, I think his MVP candidate really happened without DeMarcus toward the end of the year. And I feel like every year, more toward the end, like the last 2 months of the season, like right after All-Star break, AD just goes off because he puts up like 40 points in the All-Star game, and he just rides off that performance.
Yeah.
Like the whole season, it just ends up being like ridiculous. So he ends up in the top 5 voting for the past 2 seasons, at least, is what I've noticed. So, and he's versatile. He could win Defensive Player of the Year. He could win in Most Valuable Player. He's the most valuable player on his team. And offensively, he's just going to get the load taken off, so he could average more rebounds, blocks, and assists because Drew Holiday is averaging like 20 points a game now. So I feel like he's going to be, he's just this versatile big man that is perfect, I think, for fantasy because he's going to put up everything.
So now going into who we wanted to get, you obviously Giannis.
Yeah, I wanted Giannis, and then, after like your stars, it's kind of like a gut feeling because I selected like Oladipo, Butler,
I wanted
Aldridge,
That was one of the people I wanted. I wanted to get Victor.
like Kyle Kuzma. And you start to realize that like for fantasy, it's more or less like who scores the most points, but it's more of like depending on what your scoring is. Ours is head-to-head points, so it's really like a guy who can do everything. So you want a guy who can get a couple rebounds, get a couple blocks, like Joel Embiid, for example. He's gonna get a couple assists.
Yeah.
Like Ben Simmons would be perfect in fantasy. Giannis, guys who were like out of position players, like LeBron. He could when he brings up the ball a lot for LA. He might not bring up the ball a lot, but a guy who just plays out of position more likely than not. Like Kyle Kuzma, if he comes off the bench or if he starts, he's just going to be this versatile guy like he showed last year. So if you haven't started fantasy yet, that's who I would look out for. And guys with new teams. Because like a guy like Kawhi Leonard, guys who are expiring contracts like Clay, because when a guy's entering into his contract year, the team wants him to stay, so they kind of like he's in the center of everything. So the Raptors' game point with their new coach is going to be most likely Kawhi Leonard is our star. Everyone jump on his back except you, Kyle, because you might break it. I'm kidding. That was fucked. But Kyle Lowry and him are going to carry that team. Obviously, Leonard is versatile. He can play offense and defense. Best two-way player. And then Butler. So I have the 2 best two-way players in the league right now. That's actually established. Yeah, I have Kawhi and Butler.
Okay.
And then, a guy like Davis is perfect. A guy like Embiid. A guy like Curry, like he can grab rebounds just because he shoots threes, but he's not going to do well on defense. Yeah, so that's my key for fantasy is get guys who are versatile. Like a Westbrook, perfect idea. You get everything. But it's definitely depending on your scoring. I would do head-to-head because that's easier. Head-to-head points.
Everything matters, yeah.
So everything matters, and then just get versatile players after that.
Yeah. So now we're gonna talk about probably our biggest sleepers. So
on our team,
for me,
right?
Yeah, for my sleeper, my sleeper is gonna be Julius Randle. He's coming off the Lakers where he was kind of in the shadow of all the new people coming up, like
Kuzma,
Lonzo, just because of his hype train was in the shadow of that. No one was really
Now he's on the Pelicans.
yeah, no one was really seeing what Julius Randle was doing, but he was putting up numbers, like really good numbers too. Defensively, offensively, he was doing everything. And now that he's on the Pelicans, he's going to have to coexist with Anthony Davis, and he's going to have to coexist with Drew Holiday. And now that now that, yeah, dude, what's his name? DeMarcus Cousins isn't on the team. It really opens up a spot for Julius Randle, not as a center or anything like that, because clearly.
So do you think
not,
Davis is playing center now?
Yeah, Davis definitely.
Because Davis, I remember, I think it was his second year in the league or third year, because he was obviously drafted out of freshman year, so he still had like growth, obviously, because he's like 18, 19 years old, and I think he grew to like 7 foot, but obviously he didn't want to be called a 7-footer, because I think he said along those lines of, I don't want to be a center. And this was when they were still the Hornets. So, do you think that if Davis plays center, Randle is going to benefit from that? Or if they have Randle come off the bench, he'll benefit more from that? Because I don't think Randle wants to come off the bench at this point. No. He's established, like you said, offensively and defensively. So if they put Davis at center, do you think it's going to provide... Like, do you think he's a good pick to where if he comes off the bench, pick him up ASAP? Or, like, if he's starting, you should draft him?
Yeah, so... Julius Randle is what, 6'10", 6'9"?
Yeah, along those lines. He's a power forward.
Yeah, so he's definitely gonna be a power forward, and like I don't think even if now that like we even discussed this earlier that the fact that NBA like the way it's going like where it's going they're being like centers are being like out pushed I guess you could say.
The traditional center, yeah.
Yeah, no one's really like going for a strict center. Like you want a center that can do everything, and that could be Drew Holiday. And now that we're looking at an NBA where everybody is smaller and like everybody's getting like small ball,
more skilled.
Much. Yeah,
yeah.
So it's more. Of
I got it.
More of a 3-point shooting league. It's
small ball. That's perfect way to say it.
Yeah, it's a small ball league. So LeBron at the LeBron at a center, he's 6'10", so. Or
6'8".
Yeah, he's 6'8". He's small.
Kuzma would be the center if they want to do a small ball.
Exactly.
He's, I think, an inch or two taller than LeBron.
So that really messes people up because that mismatch with AD being on the power forward, if Julius Randle would be the center, they could even do mismatches. They'd have so many mismatches a game. Then Julius Randle could be open for Drew Holiday to hit, and then vice versa. Drew Holiday could hit it to AD or Julius Randle, and vice versa for Julius Randle and AD. It's going to be a really good team this year. I'm really excited to see what they could do.
I think that's like the most like this is a surprising team that like no one's actually like paid attention to is the Pelicans because they made some small moves, but the way I think they played without DeMarcus gets so or undershadowed that the fact is that DeMarcus Cousins was an all-star. But like you said, like teams obviously like they could just say Julius Randle's our center tonight, but have Davis play the tip and guard the other center.
Yeah.
Like it really doesn't matter
offensively
where they're starting, but it all depends on like who they guard on defense.
Yeah,
I think that's more important than offensively. Because you can run plays to get a guy open, especially in this league where not everyone plays defense, and when a guy does, you ignore him. And like, say for example, you're playing the Timberwolves, or like the Towns, and you have Julius Randle. You can have plays of Randle running around picks because he has a versatile build where he could run and all that. So like, you can have that, and then Drew Holiday, he's gonna get a lot more attention, and AD's already getting enough attention. So Randle, I think could have a breakout year. I don't think MVP worthy or MIP worthy because he's already putting up stats like that before.
He was already averaging, I think, 14 or 15 a game last year.
Yeah.
So that's not most improved. You have to be going from like 4
10
like single digits to like 20s. Like
a Jimmy Butler type thing. Yeah.
Did I just hear a train whistle? What
the? I think I don't know because Oladipo's an all-star, Curry's a star, Kawhi Leonard's a star, Davis is a star, Embiid's an all-star, Butler's an all-star, LaMarcus Aldridge.
With 4 people in the league, it's really easy to have a good.
Yeah, everyone has a stacked team.
Because I think that's more exciting because if everybody has a stacked team, the points go up so much higher, and it's just so much more fun to watch.
Like I think anyone on the Memphis Grizzlies could be a watch, like Conley or Gasol, because they were hurt all last season.
Yeah.
And the fact is that like They have a new coach. Marcus Gasol did not like Dave Fizdale. That's why he got fired. They picked Marcus Gasol over Dave Fizdale, but at 34 years old, I think.
I mean,
He's a stretch. He went from, I wouldn't say traditional, but yeah, defensively he can block anyone, he can guard anyone, but offensively he's more of a stretch now versus his brother. I think Marcus Gasol is someone to watch on my team, that or Kevin Knox, because everyone else is either a star or like I have Clint Capella. He can be an all-star, but the fact that he's in the West is going to be tough, and he's on like a team with already 2 established stars because Chris Paul wasn't an all-star last year. But I think it's Capella to watch, or no, Gasol to watch for my team.
Mike Conley's coming out as a tough man this year. He got his first technical of his career last year, so this year he's going to be coming out.
2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago.
Oh yeah.
He didn't play last year.
Yeah. So he's going to be coming out this year as a tough guy. He thinks he's a savage now. He got his first tech. So.
And there's no Tyreek Evans, so he can bring up the ball now.
Exactly.
I have one thing. Maybe we should come out with our own award. Like someone who, like since we're NBT, someone who just straight up doesn't, like I wouldn't say doesn't talk trash, but kind of backs it up. So it's not like he's just spitting out things.
So like LeVar.
Yeah, like we want someone who like kind of talks, but like backs it up.
So we could be like no goal talker of the year.
Yeah, we could be like
NBT
guy who backs up. Yeah, who would we give that to? A guy who can back up.
Who's our all right, let's do that. Who's our prediction for this newfound award that we just made up? Who is going to be the NBTer of the year?
We have to establish who talks trash a lot. But like anyone talks trash a lot. Nowadays, everyone does.
I'm putting myself up as Jimmy Butler.
You think I think he's predicted to win it because the way he just is destroying this Timberwolves organization from in and out, in to out.
It was
when he gets
an
traded.
inside job.
Especially if he gets traded to the East, he's gonna make the playoffs hands down. I think that any team that wants to make it over the hump, like a Pistons team, should trade for him because they already have the contract of Blake, and then Jimmy Butler's contract, and then Drummond's contract. So they definitely don't have that much room. But if they want to make it work, they can trade Reggie Jackson. You know, that can be a starting point guard over Jeff Teague and Derrick Rose. So they can definitely make it work. But Butler, if he gets traded to like anywhere in the East, like the Pistons, the Bucks can even try. The Bucks were offered Middleton for Butler and they declined. So I don't think the Bucks are gonna look forward to him. The Heat, they got declined because they want more.
It's not even like anything is bad against Jimmy. It's Tom Thibodeau or Thibault or something.
Is he the head of basketball operations? Because a lot of nowadays coaches are head of basketball operations. Like Doc Rivers and all that. Like Steph Van Gundy when he was on the Pistons.
Jordan Rivers
I think Jimmy Butler. What?
Said Jordan Rivers got traded.
Austin Rivers got traded, yeah.
Or Austin Rivers off of his father's own team. That's just ridiculous.
But yeah, I think Jimmy Butler is going to be the predicted winner of that award.
Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Because Chris Paul does talk his fair shit of.
Yeah, I was thinking of Chris Paul, but then like you mentioned Jimmy Butler, and I'm like, damn, he really is about to be like deuces. I'm about to make playoffs with another team, and we're about to go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Bro, when he plays, you know who we're sleeping on? AD. Because he's been talking. He's been talking crazy about the Warriors. I gotta mark in my calendar.
What?
He said he's been talking crazy about the Warriors.
He has. I know CJ McCollum has, but he can't really back it up because his team can't play defense.
He said he hasn't marked out. Or no, not AD, not the AD. Not DeMarcus, dude. What am I saying?
Wait, someone that hasn't marked up on their calendar? DeMar. Oh! Yeah, but he's not a guy that is going to go out and talk bad about that organization. Well, he will now, but like he won't talk bad about he won't talk bad about the players or anything. Like he won't talk trash to another player. He'll just talk trash to the Raptors.
That doesn't matter. That's still no bull talk. If he's saying no, you shouldn't
If
have
he puts
traded
up
me,
50, if he puts up 50 against the Raptors, the first game they play, he's winning the award, hands down. Because he just backed up everything he's been building up all offseason, throughout USA camp, throughout preseason. But if he doesn't, then he doesn't get it.
he's wiped. He's wiped.
So in order to win it, I think DeRozan has to drop 50 in the one game he plays against the Raptors, and Butler
Or
has
40.
to get traded to the East. What?
He could drop 40. 40's good enough too.
No, but like he's done that before the Raptors. Like it's nothing special, but like if he drops like 50, it's like he's been saving this for a while now. Yo, chillax.
This could have been yours. This could have been your 50 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. But I think yeah.
And I think if Butler gets traded to the East and makes the playoffs, he can win the award. So I think those two
yeah,
are
definitely
front runners.
top two.
But like
definitely.
if he definitely goes out and like just starts ripping at the Warriors, like if CJ McCollum backs up what he's been talking about the Warriors, then he could win it. But
Dude got
that
mad
team doesn't
over a
play
podcast.
defense.
Jesus
And
Christ.
CJ McCollum's 6'3" and Klay Thompson's like 6'7", so like that doesn't really like Klay Thompson's just gonna be like this
Yeah.
over him.
AD's gonna be good to watch. I feel like every buck he scores against Warriors, he's gonna go right to DeMarcus.
No, unless if it's in the clutch. In the clutch, he's screaming. But yeah, Chris
He's
Paul,
going full Ellie in playoffs. Woo!
But the problem with Chris Paul is that he'll talk trash, but he has the team to back it up. So like he can average like 10, 10, 10, because that's what he always averages. But like his team will actually win the game, so like it looks like he's like backed it up for say, right? Because James Harden could drop 40, and then Chris Paul can say, "Oh, we're better than the Warriors, hands down," and Harden can have like a 50-point game.
I see it already. What's gonna happen this season with us?
What, DeRozan? Oh,
No,
the Rockets
Chris Paul dropping 30 a game. No, listen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen
against the Warriors or just in
No,
general?
just in general. 30 points from Chris Paul, 30 points from James Harden, 20 from Clint, 20 from Eric Gordon, and 20 from Melo.
That's 2, 4, 6, 9. That's 120 points.
Just from
You
that.
think-
I'm serious. Watch. Mark my words.
You guys
Mark
still
my
have
words.
Ryan. No, Ryan Anderson's on the Suns now because you guys
Yeah.
like did that trade. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
You guys
mark
still
my
have
words.
Mane, right?
Mark my words. On
Wait, who-
10/15/2018, I just said that. Come back to this video and leave a like when that shit happens. Thank you very much.
All right. What else do you want to talk about? Or you want to? Oh, let's talk about the jerseys real quick.
Okay.
So
We gotta start.
On the Knicks Instagram.
Do you have a Knicks? Or no, you have a basketball shirt. We gotta start wearing our team shirts when we do these. Like I gotta
Yeah,
wear
good point.
Rockets. You gotta wear Knicks or Bucks.
here, let's see if I can find it. Yeah. So the Knicks have released on their Instagram. They posted pictures of when they're gonna wear their association edition uniforms, the icon, the statement jerseys, and the city jerseys. Now, what this is like when everyone plays 2K or plays a game, they always want to change the jersey. And I know since Nike took over the contract deal, they've been trying to take away the away versus home versus away uniforms and just kind of make it like you can wear whatever you want now. I think that's good for the league for two reasons. One, it shows personalization, and two, it gets the league money because there's more jerseys being sold. And I think it all like with the personality, like the style of the team, like a city like Houston is different than a city like Chicago, to where like Houston has a lot of like Chinese population, especially with like Yao Ming being there and him impacting the CBA down in China, and so they have their icon or statement jerseys, the Chinese thing.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Same thing with Golden State. And then like Mexico is very popular in Phoenix, so they have the Los Suns in purple. And like the Heat,
I love.
I don't even know why.
The Heat
That's
statement
the
jersey's
best
so
jersey. But they weren't even made, like that team was not even made in like the 70s when that colorway was possible.
Yeah.
So like that confused me, but it's still fire. Don't get me
Miami
wrong.
Vice, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. I think the Grizzlies one it has like a deeper meaning. Like it really gets these teams and like their marketing team creative, like a deeper meaning. Like theirs is just plain white with black lettering and black like lettering and numbering,
Uh,
and it's like on this obviously the city and the state Tennessee like being
I
like
wish I wish they did other things.
bro.
I wasn't really like I'm not trying to sound racist or anything, but I really don't like the Rockets jerseys. It's literally our like normal home jerseys just with Chinese lettering on it. Like I did
Yeah.
not like
Oh,
that.
okay, got it.
They
You
should have
think
done
it should
like
be like the Warriors one
yeah,
with their
that
Chinese
one
New Year
looked good.
ones?
That one looked good. But I'm saying like they should have done. So they I could come up with ideas sitting in my room. Like I'm sitting here thinking about it. They could have put like red, white, and blue rockets like going up each side, and then like I don't know, dude. They could have done so many better things, and they could have put like, dude. They could have done so much better things than just change. All they did was change this. They didn't do anything else. And then another thing that slept on in the jerseys this year is that the sponsors that are on the jerseys actually match the team's colors this year.
Yep.
So compared to last year, they
Some
were
some of the teams changed, and like
yeah.
yeah, I don't know if people noticed, but the Rockets, but they didn't have sponsorship halfway through the year, and I think that's better because
I don't.
owners shouldn't have to rely on sponsors to have jerseys because I think it's so ugly. Like when the Knicks were their like statement ones for 9/11, and you just see Squarespace in the corner, it just throws off a whole vibe for me.
Yeah, but they had it. They have it so it blends into the main color of the jersey. So
Yeah.
for the 9/11 one, it would blend in with the color of
Oh,
the
I don't think
jersey.
they actually have them for the statement jerseys because it kind of fucks it up. But I think for like the normal association ones, I think they
Yeah.
have a.
For
But like in
the
the playoffs, they didn't. None of them really had any.
yeah, no one really gave a shit about it.
Yeah,
No
like
one's
it
looking
gets.
at it because they have like
Yeah,
the advertisements are scattered all around like the commercials, all around the arena. You don't need it on the
I
jersey too.
and they even have it on the basketball hoop now, like the digital thing. They added on the hoops, the hoop support.
Yeah,
They have like a digital screen in it. So I definitely think the owner's making more than enough money to where if I was an owner, I guess it makes them more money. But like, who cares if you're the Nets? Obviously, you're not going to care about making more money. You care about winning. So just remove that, pay a little extra cash, so your jersey looks a lot cleaner.
yeah. And then
I think we should I think we should create our own like jersey concept and
yeah,
see like just one team. Obviously, not go through all 30. I mean, we could if we want to, but we don't got time for that. But like, yeah, you do a Rocket, like you can recreate the Rockets one if you would like, and I can create like a Knicks one or a Bucks one or whatever team because I don't really mind. And I like no team really like stands out that like would irritate me like that. Like it's just copy and paste and then just change it to Chinese logo.
yeah. I like the Knicks though, like the 9/11, like the fire department. That one looks good.
Yeah, the tribute one.
That was really slept on. People were saying that was like 28 out of 30. I was like, dude, what?
I yeah, I think Miami's the most popular one because it's different. Indiana gets slept on a lot for being racing pattern, like a
Yeah,
checkers pattern type
Indy
thing.
500.
I
Yeah,
I think the Hornets, if they do more color on theirs, they'd be pretty fire. Well, instead of like the purple and blue stripes or spikes on the side, the Hornets in that color, everything else is black. I think that's slick. But I think we should just get rid of like solid colors, like white and
yeah,
black.
because you have so much of that around the league with the home and away
Yeah.
jerseys already. Like, and then
Like
like I don't know,
yeah.
just pointless to have another jersey like the Rockets. Why would you take that home? And like you could have
Why
put
would
it.
you have another red jersey? Yeah.
You could have, bro. We have our third color, like our third association color is yellow. Why didn't you have a full yellow jersey with
Oh, that's
Chinese
back.
lettering?
I
That
think
would
they
have
should just
been
have more
sick
throwback
too.
stuff. Like every game for like a certain month, like in December for say or
And then
January.
why don't they have
Every
black?
Thursday,
Why don't
they
they do Black History Month jerseys? Everybody
like
just has a black jersey with like that would look so sick.
yeah, but you can't do that when a game because both teams will have black.
No, I'm not saying like okay, so like
Oh,
one team
oh,
would
you meant
have
like
like
every team just has a Black History Month jersey and they wear it once
yeah,
like
so
a
like
couple yeah.
it would be like their normal jersey or whatever, but their lettering would be black or something like that. I don't know. I feel like that would be cool. Like even if
Yeah, I feel like they should do more about like that would draw more attention.
Yeah, dude, because all the
Well,
athletes
because
are trying to like speak up for what they believe in. Let them do that. Like put Black History Month on their jerseys,
yeah,
even if they're not black. It's
it's like the
still.
cleats and the shoes. People are now customizing everything to the knickknack.
That's another thing we gotta talk about. NBA this year is allowing them. NBA is allowing them to wear whatever shoes they want.
Now, I'm a type of guy to wear different color shoes, but the same shoe, obviously. Like you see me do it
Yeah,
in games a couple times, and I think it's so cool when you see that because it's like a detail that no one cares about, but when you do see it, you're like, damn, that's pretty fire. Like, say for example, the Rockets, and James Harden had a like a black and red with a little yellow shoe, and then on the other one it was a red and white with a little bit of yellow.
hmm
Like they threw out the black, obviously, like that with a certain jersey type, that would just look so nice. Like you know how Cat had the Friday the 13th one, like his shoes, the hyper
yeah,
dunks.
yeah,
Yeah, like that. That's cool. But I'm just the type of guy to like mismatch his shoes wherever, like whatever it is. When I play basketball, like I try to at least like the most I can because I think it's a detail that you can control versus like a jersey you're forced to put on. So it's just one thing that is different that you can do versus everyone else.
yeah. Like that's yeah. You could be different from everybody else on your team, even if it's like even wearing like this like a different type of shoe. If it's all the same color as your team, like you still blend in. But like if you like have a different type of shoe and you have a different like colorization, like James Harden could wear, he could have a red jersey with like orange shoes on, pink shoes on, like yeah, white shoes
He's done it
on.
before with the salmon or salmon
Yeah,
colorway.
exactly. But he got fined for that. You get fined if it doesn't match, I think.
He for real got fined for that?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what they
I
do.
I don't think so because it was his signature shoe.
Oh yeah, if it's a signature shoe, no. But if you wore like a pair of Jordans and they were like pink and you're on a team that's like white, you're probably gonna get fined.
Well, not anymore, but I feel like back then, yeah.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 years ago.
hmm I think every Thursday in a certain month they should wear throwback jerseys. That's just my opinion. But like some like the Rockets, they have nice throwback jerseys. The Pacers have like the stripes, the yellow with the stripes as a throwback jersey.
Yeah.
The Warriors have the blue with like the golden lettering Warriors across as a throwback. Portland has some nice throwbacks. The Cavs have some nice throwbacks. If they bring back the orange and blue jerseys, I think Nike has so much. Like obviously, it's gonna cost a lot of money to do this, but if
And
they
they
at
have
least
it.
like they have it, they can obviously have the money to make it. But if they do this, they're gonna make so much profit after it because everyone's gonna want to buy these jerseys to where like you can wear a different jersey every day of the week because people will do that.
Exactly. I don't. The Rockets don't wear throwback jerseys like the Yao Ming days, like Steve Francis days. Like those
Steve
jerseys were
Francis.
so nice, and like I would kill to buy or like even see like James Harden, Chris Paul, all them in those throwback jerseys. That would be so sick. Cause those
Oh,
jerseys
the
were
mid
mad
2000s.
nice. Yeah, those jerseys were mad nice.
All the white ones with the stripes.
Bro, we don't have throwback jerseys. We really do not.
I I think it also does with the identity of the team because back then they weren't that good as they are now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude.
Like I feel like NBA owners are like, oh, I don't want to wear that jersey because we sucked back then. It's like, who?
With Hakeem Olajuwon, we won back-to-back rings.
Yeah, but you guys didn't have those white striped jerseys yet.
Still, we don't wear those jerseys either.
Yeah, you do. Like in the 2000, I think in 2013 season when Harden's first year with
Yeah,
the team, he wore
2013, but
the gold lettering.
yeah, recently we haven't. It's 2018. 2013 was a long time ago.
I think a team like the Warriors, who like made the playoffs in the 90s, like a team like the Bulls, they haven't changed jerseys at all. In fact, they've gotten better from the worst.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics, they haven't really changed. The Knicks, they haven't really changed. So all those teams that have been there since the 40s, they have a hard time doing it. But even if they like the Knicks, we have like a Yankee logo on our shorts. Like even if you do that, people are gonna be like, "Whoa, I want those shorts."
It's like
Like same thing with the
Supreme.
Lakers.
Supreme, they collab with other brands and it's worth a shitload of money. Like you could get a Walmart brand coat and they make it with Supreme and it's worth $300. Like NBA could do the same thing.
Like the Raptors, if they bring like the purple ones for a day, it's gonna get sold out.
Yeah. Did you see that
That's just my opinion.
Lonzo had to cover up his BBB tattoo? That's
It
so
happens.
stupid.
Iman Shumpert had a Adidas when Adidas signed him. He had Adidas labeled in
Yeah.
his hair and they told him wear a headband over it.
And then I don't understand because NBA and Supreme have had a collab before, so I don't understand why they're telling J.R.
So they
Smith.
they are aware that. I mean, I think like the NFL, the players fought for so long to celebrate
Like, listen to me,
and to wear
Supreme,
cleats.
Supreme and NBA. They had a collaboration, and J.R. Smith literally was like the first person to have it.
Yep, he's the model. Yeah.
Exactly. So that makes no sense as to why he's because the NBA clearly knew like, oh, he's doing this for NBA and Supreme, like the collaboration.
He's
So
the
why
face
are
of it.
exactly? So why all of a sudden are they like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that? That's fucking stupid. It's his body. He can do what he wants.
I mean, it's the same thing with socks. You can't wear Nike Elite socks or Jordan Jumpman socks or whatever they're
I
called.
know.
You have to wear NBA socks, and you can't wear the headband upside down anymore. You have to wear the logo appropriate. It's just like you can't. I don't think you can wear the Supreme sleeves anymore. Can you?
No, they're taking. I feel like they're taking the fun out of the game.
Like that's the NFL fought that for 3 or 4 years, and now look what it's coming for. They last year they were given a week to have customized cleats. Now they can have whatever cleat they can have. So I feel like if the players, like Chris Paul, he's the leader of the Players Association, he would have to speak out before a season because it's going to take longer than a season to develop. Like, say for example, they take a month out of the whole season, like the 1 month before playoffs start, and they go, okay, players, have at it. And see what happens, see what feedback they get. And if it doesn't work, if it gets too crazy, then you pull back and say, well,
Okay, listen to me.
uh,
I'm white, so like this may come off wrong to some people, but I'm white, and this isn't gonna be like super racist or anything. But I'm just saying,
yeah, go ahead, yeah.
I'm white, and if I was an African American male or female, whatever, and I was in the NBA, and I'm coming from what all these African American people, some even white people have, of backgrounds where they come from literally nothing, and
Like cities, yeah.
exactly, and they're coming from being oppressed. They're coming from like being told what to do, all this stuff. Because as an African American in America, like it sucks to say, because I don't feel like that's appropriate in this time period. But black people are like discriminated against, and they're told what to do. So these NBA players get up to the NBA and they're rich and all this stuff. So they feel, and I agree with what they feel. They feel
Yeah,
that
they can do whatever they want.
they made it this far. They should be able to wear whatever they want. I don't want to be told by the white man what to do because that's what my ancestors have been doing. So I am white, but I'm gonna say that I understand where they're coming from. That they don't want to take orders. Like, who wants to take orders? Even as a white person, I don't want to take orders. That's stupid. Like, I don't want to be told what I want to wear. Even going to work, putting on a vest at Walmart, bro, like that is like it's demeaning. I hate putting on that vest just because like I hate to be like I want to be my own person. Like anybody in this world wants to be their own person. So being told what to do, what to like, and how to do it, and when to do it, that's so like I don't know. It takes the fun out of anything.
I I would like to add to that. Um, as you were talking, I had a couple of things in my head of you know, the reason why we have free agency in the league was because of Oscar Robertson, and he was an African. And the reason why we celebrate, African Americans, especially in the NBA, is because Bill Russell was the first African American coach slash like one of the first players, and he won all those things. So you have to get like as an NBA as Adam Silver or and the GMs because they can definitely have a say in this. Donald Sterling's out for reasons, and I'm pretty much everyone who's acting like that is out for reasons, and we've passed the period to where people, like especially with social media nowadays, they just want to do what they want. So my thing is that there's an actual dress code they have to before games.
Yeah.
Like how they walk into the tunnel, there's a dress code.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel like it wouldn't be appropriate for a guy like, I don't know, Anthony Davis, because he's been mentioned so much, to wear gym shorts and a t-shirt walking into a locker room.
You should dress up for that.
But I feel like it's too extensive to say, go buy $1,000 suit, but you have to wear like especially with their contracts. Like say for example, like Anthony Davis is sponsored by Nike, I believe. He wants to wear Hyperdunks. You have to wear white with red Hyperdunks because that's your team color. And you don't get to pick the uniform or the shoe. You just have to pick the shoe brand. No, you don't. Yeah, you don't even have to pick the shoe brand because that's what your contract is.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, with the NFL, now they can wear whatever cleat as long as like they're sponsored by it. They can wear. They have to wear it. But if they're not, then they can wear whatever design, whatever. The NBA should at least take a month because a month like teams play what, 12 games in a month.
Yeah, about.
You would say that's a good
Give or
estimate.
take, yeah.
Yeah, or even like the last two weeks of the year, because teams play 4 games in there, and at least 4. Some might play like 6, and you should use it as feedback. Like, hey, players, do whatever. And then J.R. Smith untapes his Supreme, that little stupid patch. It's different when you're in high school, like LeBron. You know how he had that was because his high school didn't want him wearing tattoos, like having tattoos, because he went to a Christian or Catholic or whatever high school. That's different because you actually attend. But the NBA, they're paying you to play. So of your way of giving your service back, not only by being paid, is by being who you are. Like J.R. Smith. Like he was on Complex, I think a month after the collab released. And he was like, I got the tattoo, or a couple of days after Supreme, like the tattoo was released. He said, that's just who I am. So having a player cover that is hiding a part of who he is.
Yeah, that's what he does. He loves Supreme, so he should be able to rock it. Like I said before, if there's if someone has their kid's face on their arm, they're not gonna say cover up your kid's face. Like that's a part of the guy. And like I'm saying again, not from a white person's point of view, but from their point of view, you could see where they're coming off saying they feel like they're getting oppressed, because I feel like I would feel oppressed if I was being told that a part of my body is something like that should be covered up. Like if you have someone's name on your arm and they're like, cover that up, that's not something we stand for. Like,
no, I think that's different. I don't think they do that.
But Supreme is the same thing. Like that's what he.
It's just the name you're saying, right?
It's the same thing. It's if I have someone's name right here,
they're not gonna say cover it up.
They're not gonna tell me cover up the name. We don't want to see that. We don't take payment from them. We don't pay them. They don't pay us. Don't cover that. Or cover that up. We don't want to see it. That's the same thing with Supreme. We're not paying them. They're not paying us. Who cares? J.R. Smith paid money to get a tattoo. He should be able to show it off. I
think that's a perfect example of it. Just like treat it like someone's name because that's part of their life. Obviously, with how much money they're making now, and it's like a person's name. Exactly. That's like the perfect way to put it. As, hey, like BBB, for example, for Alonzo Ball. That's literally him. That's his brand. That's what he's been doing for the past 4 or 5 years of his life. Is literally wearing that and like showing it off, because that's like literally his brand. Like he made his brand, and having that covered up is like a part of life being covered up. And that's not okay.
That's like having his dad or mom's name tattooed and they're saying cover that up.
That's exactly. LeVar Ball, cover up the ball part. That's my name.
We don't feel that's
like, yeah, backing, like not having a name on his back of his jersey because it says Ball. And I wonder if someone got a Gatorade tattoo. I know that's not gonna happen.
See, but
would they tell them to cover it up?
Because if someone was sponsored by Nike, they're not going to say cover it up. The only reason they're telling him to cover up is because Supreme doesn't want to give NBA money. That's why they're saying cover it up.
Well, no, not even that. Is because like back to the Iman Shumpert thing. He was sponsored by Adidas, but they told him he couldn't put it in his hair, even though he did.
So someone has to get a tattoo and just to prove him wrong. See what happens.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's why NBA players have so many tattoos, because they accidentally put a swoosh.
But LeBron has a tattoo that says LJ on it, doesn't he? He has to. He has to have a brand. He has to have his LJ on him.